Test 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? We are here at Lambert where they are watering the synthetic. Absolute scenes. For the first time in 2024, Lambert Park hosts New South Wales NPL men's football. Of course, the home team, APIA Leichhardt Football Club, won their first game back at the newly refurbed Lambert Park against Marconi in the Australia Cup, but experienced a little bit of a cup hangover last Friday night, going down 1-0 to Manly United. They're back at home against St George City, who are also looking to avenge a last start loss. And the home team will be looking to serve up something, the only thing that is colder than Sydney's weather at the moment, and that is revenge, because the last time these teams met earlier in the season, back in round 4, a Dom Cox goal was enough to give tonight's visitors a 1-0 win. The home team in their iconic maroon and light blue, and they make 6 changes from the team that went down 1-0 to Manly on Friday night, with their manager, the maestro, Franco Parisi, making lots of changes to a team that's played a lot of football. Let's start in between the sticks, where Alexander Parks gets a start in goals. Number 2, Seiya Kambayashi, back in the starting team. Ben Gibson. Number 14 is Jack Armson. Number 15 is Temba Muatamalo. Sean Simmons is going to have a big attacking responsibility in tonight's game, with no Jack Stewart, who's out. And I've been told he is sick with pneumonia, so get well soon, Jack. Back into the starting team with the armband is Adrian Okino. Number 21 is Michael Kuda. Edward Caspers and Dakota Askew are also back in the starting team, as Franco Parisi rings in 6 changes. Apia, currently second position in New South Wales, 4 points off leaders Rockdale, look to avenge their 4th loss of the season. Our referee for today is Ivica Kovic, and St George City will get us underway wearing a very slick all white with red trim, and they are running from right to left on your screen. Midweek New South Wales NPL football, it doesn't get much better than this. 7 games on at the moment, but thank you for watching here at Lambert Park, and you should be in for a good one, as St George City, like they so often do this season, go long from the kickoff, and it is shown out by Seiya Kambayashi. St George City make 2 changes from the side that went down 2-0 to the Wollongong Wolves. Their team reads as follows: Jack Kenny in between the sticks, Cameron Fong in number 2, Joshua Hong in number 3, Solomon Minor Viaka in number 4. Is a heavy challenge straight away. Nice battle in the middle of the park, and it's one of those inclusions, Dakota Askew, who plays it back to Parks, who's given a rare start in between the sticks in place of Anthony Bazanis. Lovely turn, and he rides the challenge, and he's eventually brought down, and it's a Kovic. Probably got chilly hands because it is a cold one, although I saw him looking very good in his warm-up. Gets an early use of the whistle there, which is taken by Adrian Okino. Fumuto Kamada is in number 5. The captain is Tarek Erkan, as they look to go down the right-hand side with their number 11, Costa Petrados. Their number 8 is Dominic Cox. He was the match winner when these teams met back in round 4. In number 10, the former Apia man, Jason Romero. The best name in the New South Wales NPL, Presley Ortiz, is number 30. And back into the team, the starting team, is Matthew Karamalevsky. The home team, the defending champions, despite a little bit of a rocky start, which included 2 losses in their opening 4 games. That's shock 6-3 opening loss to Blacktown. As they look to go down the right-hand side, Kambayashi's made a run, but it's mopped up by Monahan Viaka, who then goes long through the boot of Jack Kenny and Costa Petrados. You have a feeling that if St George are going to do the double or even get a result tonight, the man wearing number 11 for St George City is going to have a big say in this game. Apia rotating their squad once again. 6 changes, no Jack Stewart, which is a huge loss. He is one of the best players in New South Wales. He's sick, get well soon, Jack. But a very handy replacement on either side, really. Jordan Segretto's, particularly in the early stage of the season, was the signing of the season. Rory Jordan, who's the reigning New South Wales NPL Midfielder of the Year, dropped down to the bench as Franco Parisi is rotating his side, which is also juggling a run in the Australia Cup through to the round of 32, defeating Marconi 2-1 in one great Derby d'Italia last week. So a little bit of fatigue can be expected, and Gibson is through. He rounds the goalkeeper and scores straight away. That is the perfect way to shake off a cup hangover. Apia take the lead straight away. It is 1-0, and who else? The sniper up front, Ben Gibson, gets goal number 14 of the season. Apia Leichhardt Football Club 1, St George City 0. Great start from the home team. I was speaking about those changes that were to be expected going from playing a Tuesday night game to a Friday night game. Ben Gibson, definitely not dropped because of form. Back into the starting team, and he is proving to be one of the signings of the season. Goal number 14 of the season, and as can be expected between these two teams, it's fiery early. When they met in round 4, Apia had to finish the game with 10 men, so always a little bit of passion, bit of fuego when these teams play, which we love, in responsible moderation, of course. But it's a Lambert Park homecoming as well for Jason Romero. Had an explosive start to 2023, earned himself a move to finish off the season at the MacArthur Bulls, popped up as well in a game against Melbourne City, and then returned to Apia, lifted the trophy, and now returns to the club where it all began. And St George City finished 5th in their first ever season of New South Wales NPL football last season, a club that was only formed in 2016. Very hard standards to maintain, but despite last week's loss, they have maintained those high standards, and now with the new format, finals football back, that's a big interception there from Temba Mwatamalo because Presley Ortiz was in. And a lovely turn by Caspers. This is beautiful one-touch football from Apia as they go down the left-hand side. Dakota Askew floats the ball in. Gibson is there, and it's just in front of him, and then it was poked at the near back post, I beg your pardon, by Jordy Segretto, who hasn't scored in the league since a game at the end of March against the Sutherland Sharks, which I was lucky enough to call. Go back and look it up. It is one of the greatest goals you'll ever see, a half-volley Trivella. If that was the only goal you scored in your career, that would be enough to pack it in there. That was his 6th goal, yet to score in the league since Jordy Segretto. He was very close to ending his mini drought and doubling Apia's lead. But as I was saying about St George City, after that amazing first season, which would have landed them in finals football if we had that in 2023, those standards would have been very hard to maintain. But some very impressive wins in 2024 as well. One against their opponents today, win against Marconi, just a little mini dip. Only 2 wins in their last 5. There was a draw in that as well. So still very impressive once again, and that's another big interception, this time from Dakota Askew, and St George City just asking questions there of the Apia backline. That's 2 big interceptions in 4 minutes, but now it's Apia who press and look to avert a free kick, but Vicakovic says no, and here is Romero against his former club. Gets around his former captain there and opens up the field brilliantly. That was lovely football from St George City's favourite son, the former Apia man. And they look to get a ball in, but it's well shut down by Dakota Askew. Lovely dancing feet and a low cross as well She's looking for Presley Ortiz, and it's a good hit, but it's flashed over the bar by Dom Cox, who scored a great goal back in round 4. It was underside of the bar and just crossed the line. Not that time, though. Flashed over the crossbar by the ex-Hakoah man as Alexander Parks, one of 6 changes from Franco Parisi tonight, gets us started. That loss on Friday night was only Apia's 4th. Snapped a 6-game win streak. As don't worry about a cup hangover or a title hangover. Apia showing that they are the real deal in 2024, just like they were in 2023, the defending champions, of course. It's not first past the post, back to finals. And their opponents find themselves in equal 6th position. Now that is important because top 6 makes the finals. And St. George City, what a story that would be. What a great Cinderella story. And that's a cliche that gets thrown around a lot in football. But if they were to make the finals in their 2nd season of top flight football, but they're going to have to defend this blistering move by one of Apia's stars, Jordi Segredo. Couple short passes just take the sting out of the attack momentarily. It's back to Dakota Askew. There's Simmons, who was the hero in extra time against Marconi. Temba Muatamalo scored the opening goal in that game. He doesn't score too many, but an important part of this ultra experienced Apia backline, and he came up with a key interception a few minutes ago. And they're going to get put under pressure once again. It's a lovely ball, and turn was just a little bit heavy from Presley Ortiz. One of the best names in the NPL. He's also one of the best young players as well. On the hand, Viaka looking to get past Kambayashi. He can't. Nice work there from the Apia right back. Beautiful football from Jack Armson, who finds Shawnee Simmons, plays the ball through for Ben Gibson, who may have been offside. They go long. Just over the halfway point in New South Wales. Still plenty of football still to be played, but St. George City in a great position to make a run for finals football. As I said, equal 6. Some good wins. There's also been a couple of alarming ones, but that's just the seesawing nature of New South Wales NPL football. You had the defending champions going down 6-3 in the opening game. St. George City was swept away by Western Sydney when they were in the peak of their run, going down 6-1, but they've recovered and stayed well in the hunt for finals football. Lovely ball there from Jordan Segredo, and has to be said, the signings this season from Apia been a stroke of genius from everyone involved. Edward Caspers, Jordan Segredo, a focus on youth, and it's paid off because the defending champions are locked and loaded and ready to make another run at the title in what is definitely one of the most wide open seasons of New South Wales NPL football. You only have to look back to that huge defeat that Apia suffered against Sydney United. Rockdale flying high as well. You can never rule out Marconi or Blacktown. It's going to be very interesting when finals football rolls around. Still plenty of football to be played until then. Big week for the away team. St. George Derby on Saturday night as well. That will be absolute scenes over at Rockdale, which has served as the temporary home for a few teams in the NPL. Here is Tama Muatamalo, the ex-Sydney FC man now. One of the kings of the Inner West. Here's another one of Apia's favourite sons, Okino to Segredo, who's had a great start to this game. It's Jack Armson. Hits it straight to Kenny, who parries it away. Danger not over yet for St. George City. Go long looking for Ortiz. Wave after wave of Apia attack at the moment. Segredo looks for a way through. Can't get past Erkan. Nice turn. Even better tackle. Couple screams from the St. George City players, but that was a great tackle. Beautiful ball. They're in on goal once again, and Gibson hits it into the path of Kenny, who dives and makes a good low save and keeps the away team in it. It was very close to being 2-0. Lovely football and a beautiful pass to play in Gibson, who just rolled his defender and had to pick his spot. Jack Kenny picked the right spot and made the big save down to his right and keeps the away team in it. But you suspected that Apia would be coming into this game at home. First game back at Lambert in 2024 in the league with a chip on their shoulder after their loss on Friday night. Some fresh legs back into the team as well. And so far they've started the game breathing fire like you'd expect. Beautiful, fluid attacking football from end to end, and it's a lovely ball to Jordan Segredo. And it's another big save by Kenny, keeping St. George City in it at the moment. They're number one. 2 big saves in a couple of minutes. This time denying Jordan Segredo his 7th of the season. Beautiful switch. I was talking about that fluid attacking football, and then right on point came the diagonal. I think it was Dakota Askew who played it. It came down with a ribbon on it. Jordan Segredo did well to bring it down. But once again, hit into the path of Jack Kenny, who's having himself a first half and keeping his team in it. It is that man who goes long. Looking for Presley Ortiz. Apia win the header once again, looking to play through Segredo. It was a deception there by Monahan Viaka, but the referee calls a free kick, and it's been a feisty start to this game as well. Apia take it quickly. Kino was looking for the switch, and Fong was there to intercept, and so far St. George's front line having to feed off scraps. Petrados, Romero. St. George City last season scored the 3rd most goals, only behind Marconi and Apia. This season, though, goals have been harder to come by. They've only scored 22. To put that into context, Apia have scored more than double. They've scored 49 in 2024, but it hasn't affected the away team's football too much because they currently sit in equal 6th position, having finished 5th last season. But goals harder to come by. This man is their top goal scorer with 4. One against his former team would be absolutely priceless tonight, particularly considering the form in which Apia have started this game, particularly that man at the end of the ball, as Ben Gibson is offside. Only 4 losses in 2024. 2 of them were heavy defeats, Sydney United and Blacktown. Maybe, just maybe, alarm bells were ringing when Apia dropped their 2nd game in their opening 4 games to their opponents today back in round 4, but since then they've only lost a further 2 games in 2024, and they're looking to avenge their most recent one, and they are definitely on track to doing so. If you're just joining us now, Ben Gibson got his 14th goal of the season. He was very close to getting his 15th as well. Jack Kenny making a good low save, and then the St. George keeper, who had to know that he was in for a busy night, particularly considering that Apia were going to make changes after their defeat, made another great low save, denying Jordan Segredo, whose wait for a goal since scoring one of the golazos of the season continues in the league. Has also scored a goal in the Cup. The ex-Central Coast Mariner, who's there pressing St. George's centre-back, the ex-Mount Druitt man, Monahan Viaka. Well done there by Segredo, forcing the throw there, which will be taken by Seiya Kambayashi. And here is the ageless wonder that is Adrian Aquino back into the starting team. Changes were always going to be expected after Apia had to back up 72 hours after 120 minutes of grueling derby football. There was a prospect of penalties, which would have been interesting because the second the full-time whistle went off in the cup, the lights went off. So I'd love to know if they were on a timer what would have happened. Maybe we would have had a replay scenario, but don't have to worry about that dilemma because Apia are through to the round of 32 and they might be in on goal once again if it sits up for Sean Simmons. It does, and he makes it 2. Brilliant football from APIA Leichhardt, and they lead by 2-0. Mr. Reliable, Shawnee Simmons, doubles the home team's lead. And the defending champions are flexing their muscles. They are in ominous form here at Lambert Park. Beautiful football once again. This time we've seen that diagonal ball cause the St. George City backline problems. We saw one about 10 minutes ago from left to right. This time it's played from the right, sat up for Shawnee Simmons, who was one of 6 changes, parking up on the left wing, and it's sat up perfectly for the man who scored the winner in the Oz Cup just as I was in the middle of telling that story. And he pops up to double Apia's lead, and St. George City have a mountain to climb now if they are to get something out of this game. Goals have been hard to come by. They're going to have to find at least 2. Could this man find another? He found one in round 4. Nice switch there, and it's Presley Ortiz in those beautiful fluorescent orange boots. It's a little bit of a commentator's nightmare though, because him and Jason Romero both have orange boots, both have a number that's hard to see and ends in 0. But I can differentiate them for now. 2 great players, and big reason why St. George City are having another good season in their second year in top flight New South Wales NPL football. But it's not that they've been poor tonight, it's just that the champions have been at their very best. This man, tons of experience, has been good when needed. It's a beautiful long ball there and a good touch. Looking for Kambayashi, who's bombing on. Segredo holds it up for Aquino, who's been calm and measured. And I've just given him the commentator's curse of doom right there because he misplaces a pass just as I was praising him. But Apia fans, there's a lot of them, I'm sure, watching on the New South Wales NPL YouTubers. That was a skewed clearance, but the second one was better from St. George City, who are really under the pump. Both of Apia's wingers causing them grief. This man is one of them. Always influential. He's popped up with important goals, and even when he's not on the score sheet, Jordi Segredo has been amongst the competition's best. Rare misplaced pass from Moata Malo. Presley Ortiz, who's had to feed off scraps so far, tried his best to bring it down with his chest but was unable to. Dakota Askew there playing it to Kuda, who was looking for Ben Gibson once again, who's been wreaking havoc. You want to talk about one of the signings of the season. 14 goals now since signing from Sydney FC. And Jack Armstrong might be in there. He's tussling with Solomon Monahan Viaka, but he does very well. Good recovery from St. George. Now they look to break. Switching a little bit of space down that right-hand side. St. George yet to create a real attacking opportunity. Nice turn there from Romero. Looked like for half a second there might have been a little window to shoot. He tried the little dinked through ball, and it skids along this beautifully refurbished synthetic grass, ready for all the exciting prospects that await Apia with the impending National Second Division. Exciting times for this historic Australian football club. Kambayashi going up against former Apia man Romero, having to get back there. And that just shows you how much the home team has dominated so far, pressing them back. Heavy touch there and a rare chance. Just for half a second though. It was mopped up quickly by Moatamalo. Rare misplaced pass there for Apia, giving St. George a chance, still yet to really create a clear-cut goal-scoring opportunity. We saw Dom Cox flash one, and it's given away once again. Offside flag goes up. No arguments from Jordan Segredo there. His press, relentless, and that could be a gift for Gibson. It is. St. George City punished, trying to play out from the back, and you do not give that man a chance like that. Ruthless from the defending champions, and Ben Gibson hits 15, and Apia have their third. It's still only the first half. APIA Leichhardt 3, St. George City 0. That was an absolute gift. I was just speaking about that press, which has been relentless from Apia, forcing the error, and you don't want to give Ben Gibson a half chance. You particularly don't want to give him a goal-scoring opportunity on an absolute platter like that. He punishes poor old Jack Kenny, who was stranded there. Done no favours by that back pass, and Kenny has been fantastic, preventing it from the scoreline from reading what it reads now earlier than what it does. It is Apia Leichhardt 3, St. George City 0, and the home team seem like they're in one of those moods. We've seen them do this in season 2024. I think back to a game at Seymour Shaw, which I commentated, where they dispatched the Sutherland Sharks 7-1. And very similar to this game, it wasn't that the team on the receiving end of an Apia clinic was poor. It's just that the defending champions showed why they are the defending champions. They go long with the throw, and maybe a little bit of frustration starting to creep in there. Foul given away, and a relieving one for Apia, who, despite the lack of shots on goal from the away team, both centre-backs been called into making key interceptions. Apia in the mood on this Wednesday night for New South Wales NPL midweek football, the second midweek round of the season. Great interception there from Kambayashi, and he was looking for the switch. Apia players trying to put some extra pressure there on Jack Kenny. A couple shouts if he doesn't want it. I don't think that's true, because Jack Kenny has showed that he certainly has wanted it. making a couple key saves in the first half, but he and the rest of his team are unable to stop this Apia avalanche. Lovely ball if Segredo can bring it down. Yes, he can. He gets around the defender. He gets around two defenders. Big tackle there from Joshua Hong, and it had to be, otherwise Segredo was in on goal. Lovely football once again, and Erkan's caught on the ball by Caspers. This is beautiful football once again. It's Shawnee Simmons from a tough angle, and he blows it over the crossbar, but that was another ominous warning. St. George City caught on the ball once again, and Shawnee Simmons, who's already got a goal tonight, unable to follow in the footsteps of his number 9 and get a double. But if this first half is an indicator, we could be in for more goals here at Lambert, which the home fans who've braved Sydney's chilly and windy weather, they're in for a treat. But fans of St. George having to endure a rough start, and the champions at their absolute best. They go to Segredo, who's been fantastic. He goes up against Kamada. This time Kamada stays strong and plays his goalkeeper. A couple nervy moments at the back from the away team, getting caught on the ball, and the home team really turning the screws here. St. George looked to force an error from the back, but composed. And the ex-Sydney FC man, and Kuda was continuing his run, but it's intercepted by Cameron Fong. And then Fong gives away a foul. Just all seems to be going up his way in the first half. We've seen some crazy comebacks in 2024. This one would be right up there as Apia tried to break one of the fundamental rules of football, and that's kicking a moving ball. You can't do that. Back it goes. But we have seen some almighty comebacks. This would be up there with the very best this season, particularly considering how much the home team have dominated. We've seen them blow teams away. The Sutherland Sharks, Sydney FC, they can sting them on the counter once again. Romero was screaming for the ball there for St. George City, and they just held on to it a little bit too long. Frustrating first half for the away team. Still plenty of football to be played though. Kambayashi's been very good. This time he drifts in a little bit and looks for the switch. Unable to find it there. It's Fong intercepting. Nice little switch from Dom Cox, who's shot that went over the bars in St. George's only effort on goal. Simmons there looking to play in Gibson. Can he get there ahead of Kenny? No, he can't. Nice brave goalkeeping, but it falls to Segredo, who was pressed by Dom Cox and Kamada. And Cox wins the ball, and it was a good thing that he did, because maybe the thought of shooting and exposing a stranded Jack Kenny would have been an option. Romero going up against Jack Armson and Saya Kambayashi, and Apia's right back dispossesses one of Apia's champions from 2023. As I nearly had a catch. That one landing. Good thing there's a roof here, otherwise my cameraman might have had to show off his goalkeeping skills there. And George take the throw. Ortiz, what can he produce? Gets around Maitamalo, still continuing his run. It falls back to him. It's ricocheting like a pinball machine. Still with Presley Ortiz. It falls down to Petrados. Can he get St. George City back into the game? Yes, he can. Game on. Get the ball, and with their first real chance, they had to convert it, and they do. Started by Presley Ortiz. Lovely run. Nice show of strength as well, and a little bit of luck as it ricocheted around like a pinball machine, fell at his feet, and then he had the composure to pick out Costa Petrados. And St. George City have a goal and a way back into this game. Momentum is a crazy thing in football, and maybe that is the catalyst for an Istanbul-esque comeback here in Sydney's inner west. A bit of a spring in the step of the St. George City players. Any neutrals watching? Oh no, insane ricochet, but the flag has gone up. I was going to say that would have been the biggest slice of luck if you're an Apia fan, or bad luck if you're a St. George City fan. But the offside flag went off because it did hit an Apia player and then fall into the path of Ben Gibson, who does have a double. You would have backed him in to have a first half hat trick. Ben Gibson, crazy story, played last season for Sydney FC's youth team, scored a double in a 3-0 win for Sydney FC against Apia. Now calls Apia home. He's continued that goal scoring form. Maybe that clinic was the tipping point that forced Apia to sign up their new number 9, and what a signing it has been. 15 goals. That race for the Golden Boot is heating up as well. Ali Kurushevsky, who is New South Wales resident Golden Boot, in another great season again. Simmons. No Josh Simmons today in the starting lineup, but there is Sean. It falls to the path of Segredo, who tried to tow it through, but good goalkeeping from Kenny once again. Second chance here for Apia, floated to the back post, and Kenny had to be brave, and he did enough to stop it falling to Ben Gibson, who's on a hat-trick. Cox. St. George City committing men forward. There's 5 players in front of Fong Hears. They look for a second game, and then that would really be game on. If you are watching this game, you're in for a treat tonight, because there's 7 games going on at the moment in New South Wales. All live and free, with commentary as well on YouTube. Doesn't get much better than that, so hope you're enjoying this game. Loud as Dom Cox nearly picked the pocket of Ulkino, and Parks, nothing he could do to keep out Costa Petrados' goal, and he just sends that one out. That ball landed at my feet this time. Amber Park has one of the best commentary boxes in the NPL. And I've got the box seat for what could be a famous comeback, or an Apia clinic. And that's what it looked like up until Costa Petrados just kept a faint hope. Oh, and that was inch perfect there. Definitely see what a goal does. Romero pressing. A new lease of life now thanks to that goal. Set up by Presley Ortiz. Jack Armson on up against Ortiz there. It's 2 of the best young players in the competition. Armson. Good control. Finds Simmons, who switches it out to Segredo, who had Yashi making the overlapping run. Was intercepted. Romero turns, looks for the pass. I don't know if he was aiming for Petrados there, but it might not matter. Still with Petrados there on the edge of the box. He's then hounded by 2 Apia players, and then they send it out for safety, and they cop a stray boot as well and get a relieving free kick. That ball there from Romero, I don't know if it was intended for Costa Petrados, but It almost ended up perfectly. As a hush has just descended upon Lambert. In this game, the next goal is going to be absolutely critical. Apia lead by 3 goals to 1 if you're joining us. It looked like we had a demolition on our hands. St. George City pulled one back, and it's only the first half. Apia with plenty of firepower on the bench. They've also got a returning Nick Sullivan. Great to see Sully back from injury and ready to be called upon for Franco Parisi. Seven minutes or so to go here at Lambert Park. Apia raced away to a 3-0 lead. Goals, Shawnee Simmons, and a double to Ben Gibson, who now has 15 for the season. But Costa Petratos, after some lovely football by Presley Ortiz, laid it off to his number 11, and Petratos buried it into the corner and gave his team a lifeline. They look to go long for Ortiz, and it's well intercepted by Dakota Askew, who's filled in all across the back line in 2024. He's played at right back where he received that pass from there, but it looks like he's playing left centre back there, and Kuda has gone out to the left as Caspers looks to keep that ball in. He's unable to. Jack Kenny gets us back underway, and if it wasn't for his goalkeeping, Apia could have been even further ahead. That third goal, though, an absolute coach killer for Mirko Yul's team, giving Ben Gibson a gift after some sloppy passing at the back. But as it stands, they are still in this game. Ukino turns, looks for his right back, slightly under hit for Kamada, who intercepts and plays Romero, who toes it through for Presley Ortiz. Goes up against Kambayashi, plays it back for Kamada. Cox, lovely ball, unable to be steered goalward, and it is out for a goal kick. They go short once again. Waitamalo to Segredo. Kamada's had his hands full, but the last 5 minutes he's been good, and he wins the ball once again. St. George's left back, but unable to find that last pass, and Kambayashi plays a beautiful ball for Gibson, who's onside. Holds the ball up, looking for a teammate. Now dances past 2 St. George players and looks for the ball for Armson. Takes a deflection off a St. George City player and out for a corner. Goal here would be a killer blow for St. George City, who've worked so hard to get back into this game. This could be one of the final actions before halftime, a set piece to be taken by Jack Armson as they look to restore their 3-goal lead. Loaded to the back post and headed away. Not completely cleared, and they just send that one away as far away as possible. Caspers is back there. Armson. Kabayashi unable to get around Dom Cox then. Romero holds the ball up. He had a quiet opening to this game, but he's getting better and better as the game goes on. They switch it out to the right-hand side this time, and well won by the man they call King Kuta. Unable to dance around the goal scorer though, Petrados. St. George, bit of urgency. A 5th goal in the first half would be absolute scenes. Up you get the free kick. Couple minutes left in this first half. You've watched it from minute 1. In for a treat. 4 goals so far. If this first half is any indication, it looks like there's going to be a few more in the second half as Apia get another corner from an identical position. They had one about 60 seconds earlier. It's going to be taken again by Jack Armson. Some tall timber in there from both teams. Muatamalo trotting up to that 18-yard box, which is congested. The Coogee Pavilion on a Saturday night. Double arms up from Jack Armson. Floats it to the back post once again. Headed back across goal. And it hasn't been tapped in. It looked like it was Gibson there. It was floated to the back post and headed back across goal. I tried my best to look through that sea of bodies. It looked like Ben Gibson just towed it straight into Jack Kenny, who was in the right place to remain big and keep the ball out and also prevent Apia from going 3 goals up for the second time in this game. But they might do it right before half-time here. First time ball looking for Gibson there from Simmons. It was smart football there and it beat everyone. St. George City break. Kamada. Lovely ball. Flag goes up though. Ortiz was in and he has a shot anyway, which hit the post. End-to-end finish to this first half. Hasn't been too many stoppages in this first half, apart from the goals and a couple fouls, a little bit of niggle. We are into added time now. There can't be too much longer. It's 1. Here it's Presley Ortiz and a chance for St. George to get another goal, and it's flashed across goal. And Jason Romero was there at the back post. Unable to get a touch. All it needed was a little touch, and St. George City would have had a second goal. But this time it was Apia who were nearly punished. Spending a little bit too much time on the ball there, and it was well won by St. George City, who still, despite the home team's dominance, are only 2 goals down, and they nearly had a second right before half-time. And Mitsukovic ends that shouting match and awards a St. George City throw. And yeah, their manager, Mirko Yul, you have to be happy with the scoreline at the moment, considering the barrage that they copped in that first half. Ortiz looking dangerous. Ball for Gibson, who started his run in his own half and he's onside. Strong defending there from Joshua Hong. Kamada. Biashi pressing high up the field there. Romero going up against Aquino, ex-teammates. Nice feet. From St. George City's marquee man, he switches it out to the right to Hong. Could be last chance of the first half. That is the first half, and Apia flexed their muscles when they went 3 goals up thanks to a double from Ben Gibson and a goal to Sean Simmons. But St. George City got back into the game thanks to Costa Petrados, and very nearly at the end of that half had a second. It is set up for a fantastic second half. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. We are back here at Lambert Park. I hope wherever you're watching, you're nice and warm. Nothing cold about that first half. 4 goals. End-to-end football, particularly at the end of that first half. Apia were ruthless, racing out to a 2-0 lead. Then St. George City gave Ben Gibson a gift in his second for a third. But a goal to Costa Petrados after some lovely football from Presley Ortiz got St. George City a lifeline, and they had a half chance at the end of that first half. If they were to take that, that would have been the definition of a smash and grab goal, and it would have given them more hope than they have, but they do have hope. Apia lead by 3-1, and it looks like they are on their way to shaking off their 4th defeat of the season. But there's still 45 minutes to go here at Lambert Park. Just waiting for the whistle of Ivica, which gets the second half underway. Apia going now from right to left. This man on the ball, filling in at centre back, has been strong, as has Michael Kuda, as he always is, and Shawnee Simmons. It doesn't matter if he comes off the bench, starts, always reliable. And that's now 2 goals in 2 games at the refurbished Lambert Park for Shawnee Simmons. Match winner in the Oz Cup. Scorer of the second goal for Apia. But plenty of energy from St. George City. Spring in their step, as you'd expect, after scoring a goal. But they're on the back foot straight away, and Gibson was looking for the outside of the boot. Not on the same wavelength there with Jack Armson, and St. George City's keeper, Jack Kenny, forced to make a couple big saves as well. You're a St. George City fan, you'd hate to think what the score could have been. Nothing. Kenny could do about any of the goals, and then some sloppy passing at the back, leaving him stranded and giving Ben Gibson a gift. Petrados pressing there, but it's going to ask you. Confident on the ball, and Kuda looks to play. Shawnee Simmons, who has his goal, had a chance as well from a similar angle to get a double. Just the 1 goal so far, and you have a feeling that there's going to be more in this football game. The neutral will be hoping that the next goal comes from the team in white. Anyone associated with Apia will be hoping that they get a 4th early, kill off this game, and maybe set up scenes similar to games at Seymour Shore and Rockdale against Sydney FC, where they were at their ruthless best. But they were very, very good in that first half. An A-, and that minus coming from the fact that they did concede a goal, and St. George City still have hope. But it's Apia on the front foot once again, and fortuitous deflection off Fong there, sends it out for a throw as opposed to a corner. And that one does eventually go out for a corner. First one of the second half. This time the corner is going to be taken by Jordi Segredo. First corner of the second half, and a chance for Apia to restore their 3-goal lead. Sent into the near post. And sent away the path of Jason Romero, who can burst free. Chance here from St. George if they can find the ball. They didn't that time, and a couple shouts, half-hearted ones for a foul, and the play from the ensuing counter-attack is offside, and they go long. Bit of a mix-up there from Karamalevsky and Monahan Valleka, but Beg your pardon, it was Tariq Erkan. And thankfully, for St. George City, flag was up. Here is the ex-Mount Druitt man. On a hand, Vayeka. Pass intercepted by Caspers. Who looks up, tries to find his captain, but Petratos getting back there to win the ball. Plays it to the path of Romero. Nice turn. The fresh legs of Paulo Mitri. Presley Ortiz, every time he's touched the ball, he's looked dangerous. Manages to find Fong, little bit of space, shut down by Simmons. Does get the cross, and looked like Parks was going to swallow that up, but Dakota Askew, who sticks his hand up after, was taking no chances. Cox mops up. It's to send it straight back in to the danger zone. Strong shoulder-to-shoulder challenge from Caspers on Costa Petratos. And that one is out for a goal kick, so St. George City, the first team to make a change. They have brought on fresh legs of the whiz kid, Paulo Mitri. Getting involved early as they look for a way back into this game. Kambayashi was great in the first half. I was speaking about those great signings from Apia in season 2024. Kambayashi was another one. Made the move over from Manly. Him, Caspers, Gibson. That is how championship teams stay great. By not getting complacent and reloading, and that is exactly what Apia did. They're in a commanding position here, but the game's not over yet. George City are threatening. Gibson there, hounded by two St. George City players, and Karamalevsky just pokes that one away for a throw. Saya Kambayashi will take. Segredo and Kambayashi have linked up countless times in that first half and were wreaking havoc down the right-hand side, but Moto Kamada, a strong end to the half. Always going to be a tough assignment if you're a defender in the New South Wales NPL coming up against Apia's front line, but it's their back line that's going to get a workout here. Lovely ball for Petratos. Dakota Askew was getting back there, as was Michael Kuda, and the Apia defenders do enough, but it was a lovely move down the left-hand side from Presley Ortiz once again. Caspers, nice one-touch football and a beautiful turn there from Adrian Okino. And the pass was sloppy, and that one was sloppy as well, and Gibson pounces on it. And he looks to play through Jordan Segredo. Here is the ex-Central Coast Mariner, who has a goal, and Jordan Segredo ends his mini goal drought in the New South Wales NPL. His first goal in the league since the end of March, and it restores Apia's 3-goal lead here at Lambert, just as it looked like St. George may have got a second. A killer blow there from the champions. Jordan Segredo continues his great first season with Apia. Goal number 7 of the season for Jordy Segredo, and St. George City's attack lacked that killer instinct when they made a beautiful move down their left-hand side, unable to create a clear goal-scoring chance, and then Apia go up the other end and punish them for some sloppy play on the ball, pounced on by Ben Gibson, who goes from goal scorer to provider. Again, looking for the looping ball. Presley Ortiz tries to bring down, but Kuda was up to the task, and now Armson can break. Threads the needle through, but a little bit too much on that one, and on the hand, Vayeka Plays it back to his goalkeeper, and Gibson was shot out of a cannon there and nearly got on the end of that one. It's been a stressful evening for the man between the sticks for St. George City as it's a red card. A red card dished out from Ivica Kovic. Out of absolutely nothing. A red card has been shown out on that far-hand side. It looks like, from my angle, that it was Fumuto Kamada. In this game, which Vicakovic has had a pretty easy evening. So far, it's been played fairly and in good spirits. We see now a red card dished out of absolutely nothing, it seems like. It is Fumuto Kamada who's shown the red card, and this mountain that St. George City have to climb now has just turned into Everest, and I'm just looking at the replay there, and it was Kamada going up against Jordi Segredo. The touch was a little bit heavy. Initially it was Segredo who tugged on his jersey, and then Kamada has lashed out at the Apia winger, and Ivica Kovic has dished out a red card for St. George City. Kamada, who's had a battle with Segredo, did win the free kick initially, but lashed out. Frustration creeping in, unhappy with the foul, the scoreline as well, and now it was a mountain. It is Everest for St. George City, who are 3 goals and a man down. Ben Gibson offside, playing on that last defender like he's done all game. That time mistiming the run slightly, and George get us back underway quickly. They're going to have to do it with 10 men now. Mudo Kamada sent off for lashing out on Jordan Segredo after he'd initially won a free kick for a tug on a jersey as he tried to take a touch and get around the ex-Central Coast Mariner, and frustration creeping in. Look for that dinked ball, and Okino, right place, right time, like he's been so often in this game, intercepting the ball. He's been measured and calm presence in that midfield like he always is. The Apia captain back in the starting lineup. Kuda looking for the ball. Would have been a delicious one for Ben Gibson. Just a little bit too much on that one from the Futsalroo. It's Romero, who was growing into the game. Back into the first half, dropping deep, showing off those magical feet, which we saw plenty of weekends here. The beginning of last season, key interception, just a little toe away from Petrados there from Dakota Askew, who was in on goal if it wasn't for some good defending from Apia's makeshift centre-back. Tiz has looked dangerous, even in what's looking like a losing effort. Here he is on the ball once again. There's a big swing there, and lucky it didn't make contact with Presley Ortiz, otherwise it would have been a penalty for St. George City, but he evaded the tackler and then ended up losing the ball as Apia now look to hit St. George on the counter-attack. They're looking for Shawnee Simmons there with the long ball, and we've already seen St. George City go to their bench, bringing on Paulo Mitri. Nita Koyul going to need to pull out more than just a couple changes. Might even need a rabbit out of the hat at this stage if they're going to get back into this game. The away team, 3 goals and a man down. They play Presley-Ortiz, who holds it up. A lovely switch. And a big tackle from Michael Kuda, who feels like he copped a little bit of afters, and the referee agrees. A little bit of afters there from Cameron Fong as he gives away the free kick. Okino looks for the diagonal ball and finds Segredo, who's got Kambiashi making the overlapping run. Looks over his shoulder. And then Cox thought he'd won the ball legally, but the referee disagrees. Hour gone here at Lambert Park. The home team leads by 4 goals to 1. 3-1 was the score at half-time, and St. George City threatened, but then Apia punished them. Away team got caught on the ball. Ben Gibson found Jordan Segredo, who scored his 7th of the season. And then St. George City sent to 10 on the field after a red card to Kamada, making that already Everest-like mountain to climb even more daunting. But here is Petrados. He gets around Kuda, dancing on the edge of the box. It was lovely feet by Costa Petrados, but that last touch let him down there. But St. George get a throw, which is taken by Petrados. Mitri. Kuda just sends that one up the line. Lovely turn there from Gibson. Monahan Vaeka there to mop up after it looked like Apia's number 9 had turned Tariq Erkan, and Monahan Vaeka hounded by 2 Apia players. One of them was Jack Armson, and the lunging late challenge there from Jack Armson, and he earns himself a spot in Ivica Kovic's book. Looking for Presley-Ortiz. He's looked dangerous in what's looking like a losing effort so far, but looking dangerous every time he touches the ball, as is this man. It's a switch for Segredo, who gets there first. Toes it around. Karamalevsky does well to recover, and they do enough, and Monahan Vaeka sends that one out for a throw. Good recovery from St. George City's backline. Apia came into this round already with the best goal difference in the league. Scored 41 goals before, 49, I beg your pardon, before today, more than double their opponents. They've already added 4, and they'll be looking to improve that league best goal differential, which, if we had a live ladder, would currently sit at plus 29. So plenty of football to be played, which is daunting for those 10 players out of the field in white who are going to have to do it. A man down, 3 down against the defending champions, who have shaken off that Australia Cup hangover, and Kenny diving to evade the press like we've seen on a couple of occasions. Bit of space here for Mitri to turn. Can play it out wide to Petrados, which he does. Presley-Ortiz is waiting in the box. Petrados crosses it with his right foot. Dakota Askew sends that one away. Falls to the feet of Caspers. Simmons. Lovely one-touch football, but that final ball from Gibson, unable to find Jack Armson. As Apia get ready to make a change, it looks like it's a double change as well, as St. George City try to go long at desperate times now for St. George City, who may just be in damage control. 3 goals and a man down. We've seen some comebacks in 2024, but this would take the cake if they could get a result. And a comeback was on the cards. They pulled a goal back, made it 3-1, had a couple chances as well to get within a goal, but then were punished by Jordan Segredo and Apia, who restored the lead, which they currently sit on now, which is 4-1. Ball floated in, and it's Askew once again who sends that one into the sky. Humson does very well to bring it down as well. Under pressure for Kaspers, who then finds a pass for Gibson, who's unable to bring it down. And Karamilevsky's able to mop up and send it back to his goalkeeper. There's players on the sideline of him waiting a while to make this double change. They're probably getting a little bit cold. It is frosty in Sydney. Gibson nearly picked the pocket of Karamilevsky. Petrados. Mitri almost getting around Askew then. Kuda just sends that one away, but straight to the feet of Tariq Ercan. Cox. Dispossessed there by Kaspers, but a foul, says our referee. And finally, Apia are able to make that double change. Double change from the home team.
Number 17, Jordan Segredo.
Two of the goal scorers coming off. Sean Simmons, fantastic on one wing. Jordan Segredo, equally fantastic on the other. Both contributing with a goal. They make way for Luigi Di Troia and Alex Denmead. Two regular contributors, mainly off the bench this season for the champions. Now get to see out the rest of this game, and potentially add to the home team's lead and complete a convincing bounce back after loss number 4. Considering how much football Apia have played, the fact that they backed up 3 days after going 120 minutes in the cup, no one would have been panicking, but this is the performance that Apia fans would have loved to have seen, and they'd love to see Ben Gibson hat-trick as well. Not yet. Strong challenge there from the St. George City captain. Petrados going to play the 1-2 with Mitri, and he does, and he tries to switch it out to Jason Romero. Intercepted by Seiya Kambayashi and Kuda. Plays the fresh legs of Alex Denmead. Both Luigi Di Troia and Alex Denmead, the two subs, have 1 goal in the league. They both have 6 goals in the cup. That 19-1 victory. A big contributor, beefing up some of the goal scoring stats for a few Apia players. Nice ball from Kuda. If it sits up for 10 metre, it doesn't. It's maybe the old AstroTurf at Lambert Park, but not the fresh new one that was just watered pre-game as well. That is slick. Cox dropping and filling in that back 4. His pass is intercepted though by Denmead. Plays Kaspers. Gets around the challenge of Petrados. Plays Zucchino, who's been fantastic today in his return to the starting team. Patient build-up from Apia. And flashed across goal by Luigi Di Troia, who just delayed his run slightly, and it didn't matter anyway because he was offside. 20 minutes to go here at Lambert Park. This is one of 7 games taking place on this chilly Wednesday night in Sydney. Sydney FC getting a huge win against Hills last night as they look to stay in the top flight of New South Wales NPL football. Guatemala hounded by Presley Ortiz and played it back to his goalkeeper. Falls now back to Presley Ortiz, who goes up against Guatemala, does well and nearly finds the bottom corner. It was a great save from Parks, who was at full stretch to deny Presley Ortiz. And Apia's standing goalkeeper for this evening, who hasn't had too much to do, does well to get down low. Prevent Presley Ortiz from getting his team back into the game, or at least give them some hope. Corner taken now. Floats all the way to the back post. Lovely turn. Dom Cox. Good hit, and it flashes across goal. It's Paulo Mitri, who had a little bit of space, and for about half a second off that boot, it looked like it was a chance. Good little passage there from the away team, who are hanging on at the moment. It looked really grim when they went a man down. At least, I'm not looking at a scoreboard here, so I'm going to guess it was at least 15 minutes ago. It felt like it anyway, but they've done very well to hold on and stay in there so far. And if they were to grab a goal as well, that would maybe set up something. Here's a lovely run from Dom Cox, who tries the low pass, but straight to Temba Guatemala, who intercepts. Another chance here, though. Yeah, just maybe a touch of complacency, which their manager, Franco Parisi, wouldn't like to see him try. Just a little bit pedestrian, playing out from the back there, and nearly inviting St. George City back in the game. It's going to be another substitution. It looks like another double change for the home team.
Substitution for APIA Leichhardt coming on number 8. Nick Sullivan. Coming off number 16, Temba Guatemala.
Temba Guatemala gets an early shower. He comes off, and great to receive the return of Nick Sullivan back from injury. They send that one long, and the back pass for a second looked like it might have been slightly under hit, but it wasn't. The captain, Adrian Okino, also here is Sullivan on the ball there. He's had his pocket picked by Cox, and now he toes it through for Presley Ortiz, but lovely tackle from Dakota Askew. And Adzorne sends that one to safety. So confirmation of that double change, Nicholas Adzorne and a returning Nick Sullivan back from injury. And now gets 20 minutes to see if he can produce some magic like we saw when he came on as a substitute against St. George FC. Former Western Sydney Wanderer and Perth Glory man scoring one of the goals of the season as Apia salvaged an unlikely point in that game. They were down a man, but only down 2 goals, one less than what St. George City face now. But they've done well to hold on so far and just keep this scoreline respectable and still pressing with plenty of energy at St. George City. front line. Lovely football once again. Beautiful passage of play. Opens up space for Armson. Looking for the big switch for Detroit. Just overhit. St. George City went down to 10 men. Down 3 goals with over half an hour to go. They've done well and even threatened to get a second and cut Apia's lead to 2. And now the home team using this opportunity to give some of their more experienced players an early mark. They're going to have to defend. This shot from Petratos there. It was Dakota Askew, did well to block the shot. And here is Gibson, who is on a hat-trick. Does well to keep the ball in, going up against St. George City's captain. Threading the ball forward for Alex Denmead. Mopped up again, and it's again St. George City holding on, preventing Apia from getting their 5th. Lovely switch for Petratos, but parks off his line well and gets rid of the ball straight away for his left back Kuda, and that one-man advantage really evident now. Plenty of space for the home team, and St. George City doing their best to hold on, which they've done since going down to 10 men. It's St. George City's turn to make a double change as well. Players warming up, which you have to do. Standing around waiting for the sub to happen wouldn't be fun. Denmead. Delicate ball. Intercepted those. Looking for Gibson. It falls to the feet of Caspers. Lovely layoff for Armson, who plays Gibson. Was looking for the 1-2 with Armson, but just slightly overhit and mopped up by Kenny Kuda. Heads it straight back into the mixer. Gibson wants that hat-trick. Caspers has been great today. He deserves a goal. They're not going to get it this time. Switch by Jason Romero. It hasn't been a happy homecoming for the former Apia man. Armson has Gibson to his left. If he can find him, he can. Here is Ben Gibson on a hat-trick. Threads the needle back for Jack Armson, but intercepted by Monahan Valleca. Great press from Gibson, still full of energy. Apia not letting their foot off the gas, and St. George City centre-back did well to keep it in, but now it falls to the feet of Hadzorne. Sullivan. Nick Sullivan back from injury. How much he would love a goal. Beautiful switch there from the ex-A-League man, Nick Sullivan. Plays Dakota Askew. Plenty of space. Plenty of space for Dakota Askew there. But he sends that one over the bar as St. George City now do get a chance to make that double change.
Double substitution for St. George City coming on. Number 19, Jesse Forty. And number 8, Mohammed Hamid.
Double change from St. George City. Jesse Foti and Mohammed Kamis coming on now. The 10 men St. George City look to see out the remaining 10 minutes or so of this game. Looks like it'll be back-to-back defeats for the away team, but still plenty of football to be played, and 2024 is an indicator. You know you can never rule off St. George City. Still well in the hunt for finals football. Came into this round in equal 6th position, just outside the top 6 on goal difference, and of course it is top 6 makes the finals in 2024. Jason Romero coming off the field. Not a happy return to Lambert Park for the former Apia man. unable to influence this game. It has been a ruthless and clinical performance from the home team. And they're looking for more, floated into the back post. Two players in there wearing maroon and blue, but it went over both their heads. They might get another chance here. Denmead plays Caspers, now back to Sullivan. It's dangerous and full of energy. This is coming on back from injury. Lovely ball for Kuda, flashes it across goal. Sent out for a corner by Jack Kenny, who did well to protect his near post. Ten minutes to go here. Apia look for goal number 5. Put it into the near post. Strong header away. The 10 men of St. George City holding on at the moment. Done a good job since going down to 10 and preventing this one from getting really ugly. It is 4-1 though. It has been a ruthless display from the home team. Double to Ben Gibson, then goals to both wingers, Sean Simmons and Jordan Segredo. Azzone looking for Luigi Di Troia, and substitutes there, not on the same wavelength as St. George City look to make their 4th and 5th changes of the game. It's going to be Presley Ortiz. Making way, it looks like. Petrados has been good in a losing effort so far. Mitri looking to play the ball. Andrew Vlahadamis, one of the substitutes there, was called into action straight away. It's Armson now on the ball. Looks like he'll be playing the 90 minutes. Such a pivotal part of this team, which looks like they are ready for a deep run into the finals and a big shot, if not the favourites, for the title in 2024 and the chance to go back-to-back. They've been ruthless today, but St. George City, since going a man down, they've been brave and they've done well, keeping the scoreline at 4-1. There's still plenty of football to be played when Kamada was shown red for lashing out at Jordi Segredo. This pairing has been rock solid. The left side of the back line, Dakota Askew can play all across the back line. He's done a great job on as a left centre back, and this man on the ball here, Michael Kuda, the Futsalru, the king, been rock solid as well as Apia. At 8 minutes or so away from win number 13 of the season. Of course, plenty of reasons for Apia fans to be excited. They've got the round of 32 in the Australia Cup. A rare mistake from Dakota Askew. Lahadamis now a chance to find Petrados. It was a great ball. And that final ball from Costa Petrados, who's been great in a losing effort. Unable to find someone in white, but they're on the attack once again. And that time it was Cameron Fong. And George City have done a great job holding on, preventing a bloodbath at 10 men. Be even more impressive if they could get a second. They might get it now. And it is agonisingly close away. It took a deflection. It was Jesse Foti and Alex Parks unable to do anything about that. It took a wicked deflection. He had to just pray that it took a favourable bounce, and it did. But a chance here for St. George City to get their second. And it was nearly a free header. It looked like it was Vladamis there who got the jump, but unable to get clean contact. St. George City throw once again. This has been a good spell for the away team. Petrados floats it into the edge of the box, headed away, and the shot sails over the bar, and Apia will be in no rush to take this one. A rare mistake there from Dakota Askew, who's been rock solid today, caught on the ball and inviting St. George City they've been brave tonight, St. George City, with 10 men still pressing, and plenty of energy in this game. As I've said plenty of times, it could have got ugly, but it hasn't. And they have been brave, St. George City, and they will be back in season 2024, no doubt. Big St. George derby on Saturday night. That will be great. Their first one was very entertaining. It looked like St. George City were going to get the 1-0 win until FC pulled out a stoppage time equaliser. So St. George City will be looking to avenge what would have felt like 2 points lost in that St. George derby. They have to see out the remainder of this game, though, and this Apia attack. Petrados does well to dispossess Sullivan there, and mopped up by Adzorne and sent out wide by Armson. As Apia search for a fifth, like they have done for a majority of this second half, and it looked like we could have seen a score that Apia inflicted against Sutherland Sharks and Sydney FC earlier in the season, but St. George City have done a good job holding on. Big, it's derby weekend this weekend in the New South Wales NPL. We've got the St. George derby on Saturday night, and then the Derby d'Italia on Sunday here at Lambert Park for Apia, as the defending champions look to do the triple on their Italo-Australian rivals. They beat them 2-1 at the Palace. They beat them 2-1 here in the Cup as well. A chance to do a treble and have bragging rights in the Italo-Australian football community. That game will be absolute scenes on Sunday, like it always is. And it's Petrados going up against Askew, and there's a shout of a handball. Kovic was having none of it. Petrados does manage to get a cross in on his left foot. It was a good one as well. St. George City thought they had a corner. Ivica Kovic says no, and it was the substitute there, William Kunis, who got up. It was beautiful work from Petrados, who managed to get a cross on his left foot, and now it's Apia's chance to break, and have to commend this effort from St. George City, holding on with 10 men for a majority of the second half, down 4-1. The score has remained 4-1. The minutes tick away here. Still time for this man to get his hat-trick. He's dancing on the edge of the box. He might have ran out of room. He did. They send it away. Kuda. Gibson will have 2 minutes or so to get his hat-trick, and Apia get their fifth. Sullivan looking good in his return from injury. Caspers has 2 players out to his left. Finds Kuda. Tries to get around Fong. The St. George City right back stands strong. Wave after wave at the moment, though, from Apia. They look for goal number 5, and they look to end this very brave St. George City resistance. Lovely turn and burst of space by Alex Denmead, who then gets it back onto his right foot, and he very nearly curled it into the top corner there. That was brilliant football by the substitute. Lovely feet. Got it onto his right foot and very, very nearly curled in Apia's 5th. Seconds tick away here at Lambert Park. Apia have avenged their 4th loss of the season. But it has been a brave effort from St. George City, and if they were to get another one, it'd be a great fight back with 10 men, but not there. They have held on, have prevented it from getting ugly. They've got some big football games coming up as they continue their hunt for finals football in only their 2nd year in the New South Wales NPL. A club founded in 2016. They have that St. George derby. Then you look ahead. As for a split second it looked like St. George City might have been in, and they've got a game back at home. Here they are. Askew nearly had his pocket picked by Petrados again. And George City then in round 21 go back at home against Spirit, and then in round 22 go away to Landon Stadium to play Blacktown. So some big games coming up, a big month coming up for St. George City. Apia, after their Derby d'Italia game, they then go away to Sydney Olympic. Jack Armston's in on goal here, and the flag stays down. He's got Denmead in the middle if he can find him. Here is Alex Denmead. He hits it straight to Jack Kenny, but it falls out to Gibson. He might want the ball back. He's still in search of that hat-trick, but it's with Jack Armston. And St. George City still hold on and prevent Apia from getting their 5th. Now they have a chance to break here, and momentarily it looked like it was 3-on-3. It takes a deflection, which for a second it looked like it may have dropped in to the top corner, but it falls straight into the bread basket of Alex Parks. And after that round 21 trip to Belmore, Apia have 3 games in a row at home before they take on Sydney United, a chance to avenge that heavy defeat. But Franco Parisi can now look ahead to a second Derby d'Italia in a week and a half. That will be this Sunday. That'll be a huge game, and sloppy pass once again from Apia, and Costa Petrados holds it up there for Fong. Back now to Petrados. And just to turn and get it onto his left foot, and he gets a shot away as well. But he drags it across goal and out for a goal kick, and that could be the last bit of action we see in this match. The battle at the top of the New South Wales NPL is heating up. Apia back to winning ways after a ruthless and clinical performance here at Lambert Park. They raced away to a 3-0 lead. St. George City pulled a goal back and looked threatening, but then they were punished by Jordan Segredo, and any chance of a comeback evaporated once they went down to 10 men. But they did well to hold on and prevent this scoreline from getting ugly. Final score, APIA Leichhardt Football Club 4, St. George City 1. My name is Adamo Denegris, and on behalf of everyone here at Football New South Wales, hope you have a lovely week, and we'll see you soon.